Okay, let's look at some ideas for involving the full community. Okay. Invite your city and county leaders to participate publicly. I love this. Ask the mayor, the council members, and county commissioners to record a short welcome video or complete an adventure themselves. When local leaders visibly participate, credibility and awareness increases immediately. Okay, your legislators just came out of the legislative session. They are available now. Last week, I would not have told you to reach out to them. This week, I am going to say, reach out, let them know what you're doing. And they actually have already heard about it because we have notified them. We sent them a thank you note and we sent them notification of what's happening. Reach out to them and invite them to get involved locally with your hub. Partner with schools for family engagement. Okay. One of the best ways to reach families is obviously through the schools. And remember the homeschoolers, okay? Find your homeschool communities and your homeschool groups and ways to reach out to your homeschoolers as well. And also remember your charter schools and just be sure that you reach everyone to be able to get to families. Okay, engage your local businesses as adventure hosts. Okay, there again, we've talked about this. They can host the adventures that bring families into their storefronts. This supports the local economy while giving businesses a meaningful role in the initiative. Okay, you can do posters. We've done a really awesome poster actually, which is it's in the media kit that you can personalize, and you can print off some posters and have the businesses post it, or you can just email it to the businesses and ask them to print and post it and hope that they do. We talked as a coalition and decided we were going to print them and take it to them because we wanted to make sure that it got up in the windows. But anyway, whatever works for your coalition. Obviously, there needed to be some funding for that. And maybe you could get a print shop to donate the posters if you're able to do that. Anyway, collaborate with your libraries and museums, okay? They have some great family events going on, most of them free. This is a great way that you can provide that local flavor that we have talked about in other videos as well. Keeping it local, but at no cost to families, and letting them know about the free things that they have to do, that they have going on. You can involve your veterans and your community heroes, okay? You have adventures there. Again, the adventure is already there, but you can feel free to add in your ideas if you would like. You could have a link that goes off to, like, I know in Logan, we had a website that listed all of the parks in the area. You could put that link on that adventure that focuses on parks, or if there's a link that talks about the sites that are visited, the historic sites in your area. Feel free to include that if you'd like, or you can leave it as is. Totally up to you. Mobilize your faith and civic organizations, okay? Encourage them to share with the people that they work with it and encourage them to help get families connected. You can launch a community service challenge, okay? Again, we've talked about in other videos, the competition. Some families respond very well to competition. Others don't love it. Again, you want to have a variety, but you could create a service-based adventure week where families complete small acts of service and partner with food banks, shelters, city cleanup initiatives to connect participation with real impact. And there is an adventure specifically for that. 250 acts of service, I believe is what it's called, okay? This could be something that you focus on. You could host a community-wide competition, okay? Create the friendly competition between schools, neighborhoods, youth groups, businesses and whatnot. Sorry, I just saw the red there. You probably noticed it too. We'll talk to that when we get there. Okay, we can spotlight community stories weekly. Feature a community champion each week on social media and inside the hub. This builds the emotional connection and keeps content fresh. Setting up a booth at local events. I mentioned that, I know, in the last video, and maybe in other places, okay? Attend the fairs and festivals, parades, farmers markets. With spring, you're going to have a ton of them coming up. It seems like every city has their celebration. See if you can be a part of that celebration. If you can have a table there or even just a sign that has a QR code, or just leave a sign on the table. Face-to-face interaction is awesome, but hey, if you can leave a sign there, that helps too. And as I was mentioning to Megan, we were discussing the other day, sometimes I've been to a lot of events, frankly, all over the country. And yes, I love being there and talking to people in person, but sometimes the table without the person behind it actually it draws more people there because they don't have to worry about, oh, that person's going to want to tell me this and that, and they're going to take up too much of my time. It's okay if all you can do is leave a sign. That is better than nothing, and for some people will actually be better all the way around. Whatever works for you at those local events, invite media coverage. Here's a funny story. I went to visit with it was actually a museum in our community the other day. I started to tell her what we were doing. She said, "Oh yes, I was just reading about that in the newspaper." And I said, "Oh no, I think that's probably, I don't think it was us. I think it was something else that you were, another America 250 thing that you were reading about." But yeah, I said, I don't think we're in the paper yet. And I continued to tell her about it. And then she said, "No, this is what I was reading about." And she said, "Let me grab the paper." And she grabbed the newspaper and she opened it up. And lo and behold, Megan had already sent in a letter to the editor. And sure enough, she was reading about us, and it was very exciting and very fun. And I couldn't wait to reach out to Megan and say, "Hey, good job, girl."
Yep. I was excited. I was published.
Yes. Yes. And we've heard back from others across we've actually sent out information to the newspapers across the state. But again, if you have your local hub, you want to connect with them so that they are connected to you and not to us in the statewide initiatives. Yep. Reach out to your local media.
And
Megan,
if you
did you
look
have
at your
something?
local newspaper and you see a letter to the editor, we would like to see that. If you wouldn't mind snapping a picture of it and emailing it to us, we'd be thrilled.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, of course, encourage user-generated content. Ask participants to post their photos of completed adventures and use hashtags that denote the hunt and the hub in their social media, and then reshare their posts to build social proof and community excitement. There are some fun ideas for helping you really learn to, let's not learn to, but how to get the entire community involved. Again, back to my goal. I guess if Shirley Griffiths were to have a mission, my mission is to get the entire community focused on strengthening families, because strong families equal strong communities. So there are some fun ideas for that. If you have some other ideas that we did not think about, please reach out, let us know. As Megan mentioned, share with us what's happening in your community. We absolutely want to see that. Thanks.